Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Patrick Cristiano, your host, the publisher of TheaterLife.com, a website for theater buffs covering Broadway and off-Broadway theater. And I have a friend of mine we've been developing a relationship, I guess, for a long time. Bonnie, I really love everything you do. It's so much fun to have you on. Bonnie Comley, she is a producer, three-time Tony Award winner, Olivier winner, two-time Drama Desk winner, the founder of an incredible Broadway HD, which is a worldwide international website for theater lovers streaming all kinds of theater, which we're going to talk about too. She's the president of the Drama League, and she has many philanthropic activities that I'm not even up to speed on. But we're going to talk today also about her recent exhibition. She has an installation at Shashama, and it's called Nothing to Wear. It's a closed installation, which is really cool. But first, yeah, this is Bonnie's. Anyway, Bonnie, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to have you. Welcome.
Thank you, and thanks for the promoting all of my work. I really love that, and the friendship does go back for years. So I really, that's the most important. That's the thing that I cherish the most.
It's a thing you have to cultivate. It's anyway. It's nice to have you as one of my friends. Thank you. But you know what I want to show everybody your miraculous thing that you founded. I just want to give them the sizzle reel for Broadway HD because I don't know how much time we'll get to talk about Broadway HD, and I want them to see how fabulous it is. So could we just show that sizzle reel on Broadway HD? It is so cool, but I mean, anybody that loves theater needs to watch Broadway HD or have a subscription to it. It's how long has it been up now? How many years?
We're in our 10th year. We're in our
Wow.
10th year. Yeah. I mean, people are just enjoying it. We've proved that there is a business. We've proved that people want to watch theater on TV. So we're in our 10th year, Broadway HD. That's great.
It's fabulous, and you have Hugh Jackman's Oklahoma Stew told me that's going to be coming soon.
Yes,
And
yes.
you can tell us when that's going to happen or no? You don't know the date.
I don't have the exact date on me. It's like any minute now.
Okay.
Before like so much content stuff rotates off and then comes back. So we had it and then rotated off and it's back again.
Okay, but that's
rotated off while the Broadway the revival was happening. So we took it down at that time. So not to be confused. So
yeah, well, let's circle back and talk to about Broadway HD now, because you have something that's really fun that you just did. Your Nothing to Wear art installation at Shashama. And we want to talk a little bit and educate people what Shashama is even.
Well, Shashama was founded by Anita Durst. She is an artist and she worked in Europe and then came back here to New York City where she grew up to, sort of reassess herself and her life and how she could support other artists. And her family is in real estate. So she kind of looked and saw unused real estate and said, why can't we use this space, repurpose it for artists? So it started off that it was performers using it, and then it turned into really more for artists that are doing creating art or exhibiting art. And now she's going into, she's almost 30 years old with this organization, and they repurpose unused real estate, storefronts, office spaces all around New York City. And allow artists to go in and use it. Most of them are free of charge. And it's really an amazing opportunity because that's one of the things that's so hard for artists is to actually find space to create their art and then to find space to exhibit it.
And sometimes it's short term and sometimes it's long term.
Yes, yes. So
you
she
never
has
know.
now like thousands, and they have millions of square feet that they've done. In fact, her program is actually the prototype for other cities around the world are now coming and looking to see how this particular organization is run and saying, you know what, yeah, let's do that. Why shouldn't these spaces find some temporary use, and
And
let's put
what's her
art in
name
it. So
again? What's her name again?
Anita Durst
Anita Durst
is the founder of
is the
Shoshana.
founder. As the founder of Shoshana, and it's everything you've invited me to. I've been to a few events that they've had with Shoshana because you've invited us to some of them. It's always been tons of fun and interesting people, and always something wonderful. Let's talk about your exhibition. It's on East 340 East 64th Street at a space there that was really cool. We went to the opening night. Jody, can we show? There's about 2 or 3 pictures, I think, we have of the installation on opening night.
There's the sort of the logo title card, if you will, the nothing to wear.
Hold that for 1 minute. Now, are you really naked there in that
What?
photo? Are you really naked, or did you
No,
have
no, I have actually a strapless bathing suit on, so it sort of looks like, gives the illusion. It's smoke and mirrors. It's yeah, yes.
I love it. It's a fabulous promotional card.
Thank you, thank you. But the point is, it's excess. We all have all of these things in our closet, but so often we're standing looking into our closet or looking at our, bureau and chest of drawers and saying, I don't have anything to wear. And it's really not about that we don't have anything to wear. It's just being insecure in the choices that we have. Because the whole point of the nothing to wear installation is clothing used to be functional. Right? It used to be to keep us warm in the winter and to protect us from the sun in
We've
the
gotten
summer.
so far away from that. Yes.
And it's now a statement of something else. Colors used to be just for, and still are, for certain, it's royalty. It's to connote, college colors. It's to connote gang colors now. And so it's moved so far from being something functional to being something that can be creative and expressive, or it can be really stifling that you can't, with all these choices that you have, why can't we figure it out? And I think in my installation, I have different stations within that you go through. With the first, one is basically to give some context to the exhibit itself, which is clothing used to be functional. How did it turn from being functional into something that it's your style, it's fashion, it's fast fashion. We have to have something new every season. That was so last season. It's turned into, as I said, uniforms. Around the world, you can be docked for your pay if you don't have every single element of your uniform in place. Dress codes, you can be, forbidden to go in someplace. You can be sent home from school if your dress code isn't proper for the day. You can be, excluded from a restaurant or a club because you're not wearing the right outfit. So why, that's a reason why we're always nervous about what we're wearing. And then it's a status thing. Are we trying to be relevant, or is it really about our insecurities about our own body that are underneath? And how did all of that happen? Where the body.
It's interesting though. A lot of the things you're talking about are a lot of the things we ourselves put on. And then some of the others are things that the fashion industry put on us. And then there are things that are actually required sometimes because of where you work or job things or like that.
Yeah, I mean, some of it is safety. Some of it is, I mean, it used to be to connote your status. You had to dress this way if you were a slave. You had to wear this outfit if you were royalty or some sort of dignitary. Right. And a lot of it is around couched in, polite society that we want people to be covered, but, being covered. And
but today people don't even want to be covered though. They want to show some skin.
It depends on where in the world you are. I mean, if you are in the proper outfit in certain parts of the world, it's punishable by law. You can be
women can't have to have their heads covered.
Yes, so so where does all of that meet, and then how do we how do we live within the structure, within the confines of it? And then we add all these things on that we say, well, am I adding that on myself? Or is it because fast fashion has told me every single season, bell bottoms aren't in this year. The pant line is, you're supposed to have, ankle length. You're supposed to have high-waisted, low-waisted, all these different things. Skinny jeans. No, that's not cool anymore. I mean, all of it which has now created this excess, and then the fabrics that we choose.
And then on the other side, we have people that are starving too at the same time.
Yes,
They can't even find clothes to wear in certain situations. But did we see, Jody, have we seen all the images from the installation? I wasn't sure because we were talking. Did we get them all up? We did. I don't want to take you away. I wanted to make sure we got the images up. But one of the things that it takes me to is our choices, right? And how we really ultimately feel about ourselves, and how much we buy into. Of course, there's times where you have to, you remember, is there any places today? I mean, how many places, in terms of how many places you had to wear a jacket to go to dinner or something?
They can tell you can't get into the restaurant without a tie.
How many places?
Women weren't allowed on red carpets until just recently, unless
Is that true?
certain height to their heels, which then kept it to a certain age bracket usually, because older women weren't always comfortable wearing the higher heels. So that's how they regulated who was on a red carpet by, okay, it has to be a 4-inch stiletto.
I never knew this. This is I never knew this. This is outrageous. Really?
Yes. And
you would know because you've done all the red carpets, so you know.
Yeah. So
wow.
Things are changing. I would have been like thrown off of many a red carpet at my age. But yeah, I mean, so where does all that meet? And I think in the last couple of years, we're really looking at all of that and saying how much of that is necessary, how much of that is self. I brought that on myself, and how much of it is media or someone else looking at you, body size, body image, those things, those conversations that we're having.
Body images are another, because
it's all part of it. That was, I think, why this installation for me at this time was so important. I have somebody who has lived.
Did you get your inspiration from it because of your own journey with clothes and your own
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up very in a middle class family, so you had hand-me-downs from your siblings or your cousins. You didn't really talk about it, but that was the world that you. Then when you're getting to be a little bit older and in high school, and you're noticing people that maybe have a certain brand that they're wearing, or a tag is on their clothes that you don't have, I think you're aware of that. I think that you're aware of your body shape as people. You just sort of, with most.
You were always gorgeous, right? When you were growing up, you were always gorgeous, because I always know you was gorgeous, right?
See, that's the friendship thing that goes back so far. So you're looking.
Is that true? Am I perceiving you wrong?
No, I thank you. I have been in what I consider to be sort of a blessed,
You always look good. Okay. So you had the point I'm getting to is you didn't really have body issues. You had more.
See, that's an assumption that is not quite right.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
No, I mean, I was, it sort of went the other way, as you are young, child,
attractive,
developing, and people making comments about your body. I worked at a mall when I was 16 years old, and I had my name tag, which was my first and last name on the name tag. And this was, back in the 70s, when malls were, all the community malls were just coming, becoming popular and being built all over the country. And I had, and at that time, you had to trace calls for 2 minutes. I was getting obscene phone calls at home, and then I was getting them when I went to the mall, because they knew what my name was. And if you're 16 years old, you work in one of the surrounding towns. So,
there's lots of ways you can be uncomfortable in your body, not just even when it's, what was the point that it makes.
For somebody to do that, and then the policing of what I was wearing at 16 years old to work fell to the person who was the department head in the Sears and Roebucks, I mean? Right. So he was the one looking at me and saying, you know what, that kind of peachy color, you're kind of asking for it. they wear a bright color like that, so everything. So it's, I had to do a little parade in the store for him and for other male executives that were probably in their 40s telling me whether or not what I was wearing was appropriate. And that a
So,
couple times they asked me to go buy something different. So here I am, it's my paycheck that I'm supposed to go buy something else at work to cover myself up because they were policing what I was wearing. So I've always had that. I looked at my mother, who is, very
did she police you too?
no, she really didn't. My mother was somebody who was very conscious about her own
Mm.
body and her own, because she had been
But you
followed.
adapted a lot of her own concerns, like
No, because people followed her. My
right.
mom was, when she right out of high school, she was a telephone operator,
No, no, wait, no,
so
let's Bonnie, fast forward today. Okay. Have you
today,
lost a
all of
lot?
those things still live within me. I
But
think if I
but
grew
they
up
don't get
with
triggered
somebody.
as easily. You can navigate them a little better. Yes.
No, I think so, and I think not. I think I spend less time thinking about it and less time thinking that it's not really my problem as much as it is somebody else putting that on me. And so I think, even from the opening of my art installation that I invited friends, I had probably 75 people show up to the opening, and it was probably close to 12 people either text me or email me to say, what am I supposed to wear? And these are all women that are around my age, and I think it's coming from a place of they want to please me. They want to show up
Yeah, yeah,
and
I
be
know.
wearing the right thing when they come to my art installation because they're my friend trying to support me. So it's like, what do you want me to? What am I supposed to wear? So I think that's another layer of this whole nothing to wear is that as either as a friend, as a parent, as a spouse, sometimes these people in your life look to you to help them get dressed too. I have 5 kids with, a couple of them went to school where they had dress codes and uniforms,
So
and the other ones
you've
didn't.
been immersed in thinking about clothes off. Listen, our time is going fast, and
Oh, it
I
is.
want to get I want to get to the drama league a little bit too, but also
Oh,
just real quickly, yeah, you've had you may do more of these. How long is the art installation there if someone wants to see
my
it?
installation goes until the end of March, so it's
And
up
is
for
up
a month.
every day, or what's the
It's,
hours?
you know what I say? I don't have the exact hours in front of me, but it's online. So you
My
can go
bad.
to nothingtowearexperience.com and it's there.
Nothing to
And it's
wear experience.com. But
nothingtowearexperience.com.
it's all
Yeah,
it's every day almost, yes.
it's pretty much every day.
Pretty much every day. Good, good, good. And
And
there was some talk you've been approached to maybe do more, another.
yes, I think this concept resonates with so many people
Mhm.
that I've been asked to do it,
Recreate
again.
it.
And can I recreate it in a different space? And I said, let me see if I can get through this one first. So I do feel that it's very fulfilling that it has resonated in such a way with people that they're asking me to recreate it.
Yes, it's fabulous.
Had somebody come by
Bravo.
today, the press is covering it, you're mentioning it. I'm so thrilled with all of that. So I thank you for that. And then you said you wanted to get into the drama league.
Well,
Um,
but yeah, because of the Drama League is one of my favorite events of the whole season. It's a luncheon in the afternoon, and everybody comes. It's been immersed in the season, and I mean, you have like 75 nominees for outstanding performance, which only one person gets to win, and then you give best musical and and you have Broadway and off Broadway, and
off Broadway.
everybody is in the room at once. It's really cool. So
It's celebratory. It's celebratory. There's no performances, and I think that people are just so thrilled to be there and be included in that. And then we have a dais at the front of the room that has, as you said, like 75 nominees from Broadway, off Broadway, and off Broadway that are there. Producers are in the room, the playwrights, directors. I mean, it's really great. And all of the funding goes back to the Drama League's Directors Project program, which is for early career stage directors. We mentor these directors that are really on track to be successful anyway, but we sort of fast track their career by introducing them to other people within the industry and giving them opportunities for showcasing their work in front of paying audiences. So we have several different directors project events throughout the year that people can come to. Director Fest is coming up, I believe it's May 9th. That will be, we're collaborating with the Keene Theater Company, so it will be in their
Oh,
space.
wow.
Yeah, it's the first time that we've done that. And I think that, in this environment with nonprofits and with arts in general, is to be able to have collaborators, to be able to have other organizations that align with what your mission and purpose is,
Yeah.
to work with each other to try and support each other. It worked out really well because Keene has
They've really
a
worked hard
space.
at unearthing some really interesting plays, and they do it consistently all the time, and their performances are all consistently. They're going to reach a level that's always up there. The bar is high for them.
Yes,
I think
thank you.
they're a good one to be working with. Now, when do the nominations come out for the awards?
We'll announce the 2024 nominations for April 22nd.
Oh, so it's right around the corner, about a
It
month away.
is. It's in about a month. It's
Mhm.
just over a month, so it's really exciting. So
Have they set the date yet for the
and the
award
awards
sale?
will actually be May 17th.
I'll get that in my calendar.
Yes, absolutely. Put it in your calendar. So
And anything else?
well, with the Drama League, they're the first awards of the season, so it's always not that you go to another award somewhere and that you're like, oh, here we go again. But I think it's just the nature of the Drama League luncheon, that it's celebratory, it's a lunch, it's such a beautiful group just joining together in front of you, that it really is a lot of the camaraderie of being in, and people are in it year after year that are in shows. So it really is a special awards, and we'll be at the Ziegfeld Ballroom again this year.
Oh, wow. I have so many wonderful memories of that afternoon in my stockpile of memories. So, and then you're right in the middle of a 4-year term as the president. Is that right?
Yes. Well, I'm not quite in the middle anymore. I'm kind of like heading down. Yeah, I'm past the halfway point. But I've had a really amazing time there, and I really feel that what I've been able to bring to the Drama League is something
Oh, yes, definitely.
of pulling in other industry people, being a producer myself, and understanding that if producers know what the mission is, then they're more aligned to the organization, because we have the Directors Project. The Drama League is 110 years old, I think, at this point. And this particular program, which is the Directors Project, is about 45 years old. And in that 45 years, every year we have approximately 10 new directors that come through. So there's 400 and something of these directors that are out in the world now. Every season on Broadway for the last 10 years, we've had at least a third of the shows on Broadway are directed by alum of the Directors Project.
I know, it's incredible. I mean, you have some extraordinary directors that have come out of that program. I mean,
so
Diane Paulus comes right to mind right away.
They're so generous with their time, because I think they feel connected to the organization. They feel like they were mentored and they were brought into the industry by other people, and they're so willing to give back to these other, up and coming directors, to say, oh, hey, come here. So they're shadowing them. They have, these amazing opportunities to shadow these directors, and they always make themselves accessible to this group, which is it just makes it all worthwhile. And I think that we're one of the last standing directors, early career stage director mentoring programs around the country, because, as I said, the arts are struggling, and so sometimes the directors programs are been the first ones to be cut. So
now, when we're talking about the arts struggle, and can we just talk? Maybe Broadway HD. I wanted to talk a little bit more about that too. So we have about 3 minutes. I don't know where we go. What do you?
I hate talking about the art struggling, because I think the arts are. It's always been a difficult career path, is to be in the arts. It was never really looked upon as a legitimate career at times.
But when art's struggling, the Broadway's booming, though, are they not?
Broadway is booming, but you have to
The
look and
smaller
say
theaters is
there's
where they're struggling, right?
there's
That
41 Broadway theaters. In the pandemic. All 41 of them went down overnight, and 100,000 workers were unemployed overnight. We now have probably 26 shows in those theaters. So we're still, so the shows that are there, there's a lot of them that are doing really well. And this season we have, I think it's in the next 2 months, we have 17 shows opening.
17
That
shows
means
are
that they're rotating. So some of these shows didn't actually work. Some of them
right.
only lasted
Oh,
for a month or two, and they didn't plan on lasting for a month or two. Sometimes we have limited runs that are announced that said we
right,
only have, and it's usually star driven. Hugh Jackman or whoever it is can only stay
right.
here for this period of time. So when he's gone or she's gone, then we're going to try and recast, but this is going to be a limited run. And I
But
think
you have nothing coming in the fall that you have your finger in.
I don't have a set show at this point. I have things that I'm developing, but I don't have anything that I have a set theater
So we'll
for.
wait to talk about what you're developing. Yes.
I'll be back. Take advantage of that 30-year relationship.
Yes, absolutely. So we have about 2 minutes. I was going to talk a little bit more about Oklahoma, but is there anything else that's exciting that's coming on Broadway HD that you want to share with us?
I think we're doing some watch parties that I think are really exciting. I think in the, going into our 10th year, we're looking at what works and what doesn't. At the beginning of our business, so much of it was about the live streaming. We thought, oh, everybody wants to see these things live streamed, happening in real time. And what we found for our audience was they really wanted access to this content, not that they needed to watch it at 8 o'clock at night when the curtain went up. So just that they have it, that they can watch on demand at any time that they want, that we have hundreds of full-length stage plays and musicals for people to watch, for people to experiment with. Because when you talk to people about Broadway, a lot of times they have a set idea of what it is. It's usually like it's a big musical and it's like Kinky Boots, and we have Kinky Boots, but there's other things.
There's so much versatility what you and you know what's else really marvelous about everything you do, the special captures that you do with the different cameras that give you such different vantage points that you would never have in the theater, that makes it so much more intimate sometimes than actually being there. I mean, I would never want to give up going to the theater, but it's a unique experience. It really is. It's fabulous.
And I think the really well done captures of these shows make you think about what it is that you're missing if you're not going to the theater. So I think watching this type of theater, watching well done digital captures on Broadway HD is propelling people to buy tickets to the live performances. Because it's like you're listening to people laughing or applauding in the theater. You're watching these actors and saying, you know what, I need to go and see one of these shows. So
on that, we're going to have to say, if you can't get to Broadway, get to Broadway HD. And our time is up, unfortunately.
Oh, no. Thank you so much,
muse. Meet my new muse.
Hi, Bobby.
Thank you so much for coming to do this.